Hello, everyone, and welcome to another race review here. What we're on today, though, is the Tiny Race series hosted by Zwift Insider. Essentially, 4 mini races, all back to back, varying in length from anything like to 4 to 8Ks, depending on the terrain and the type of course. We are on the Ties and Temple course to start off with, 7.5Ks in length. Yeah, I've never able to do much in terms of preparing for these things. I can only just get on the bike in time and pedal away. So I normally treat the first race as a kind of warm up and that. But fortunately, this course, or this part of the course anyway, is relatively flat. So at least I've kind of got that going for me. Anyway, so yeah, we're starting off. Usual kind of start to any races. Everyone's going quite hard to go with because they're short races. It can vary in the tempo and that, as you could have anything between like 5 minutes to like 1 minute worth of break depending on how well you do. We got a good start anyway, and my plan for this one, as it's relatively flat, like I said, I've tried to warm myself up still. But equally, I'm just trying to surf wheels, not trying to get him to the front. Trying to just be at the back, but just surfing wheels and see how we go. As you can tell from most of this race anyway, like I said, I've tried to not get at the front a few times where I've maybe gone too far back and realised that maybe I need to just put a bit of effort in to be not completely dropped. I don't have that bad a sprint, being just over 90 kilograms. So, I say I fancy my chances. I know that there is a downhill, small descent before the sprint itself or the finish. So, I'm feeling like if I can be in the pack, use the kind of momentum to roll down, and then I might have a chance of doing well for the sprint. But yeah, here we go. I'm just a few times where I am just getting spat out. When I notice there's a few riders coming at the front, like you can see are there, I do have to be cautious that obviously other people are going to do their best to catch on, so the pace will go up. So yeah, coming to almost the last, or less than a kilometre to go now. I know there's a small rise, so I'm just trying to position myself as best in the middle, and then we've kind of got this downhill. So see a few riders starting to pick the watts up, and obviously my weight is naturally bringing me faster down. So yeah, I see the opportunity and just use drop the draft boost, and then fly through. At this point, maybe I got into front too early, but I thought, well, I'm here now, so I might as well start sprinting, which is what I do, and I'm just sprinting all the way to the finish at this point. Quite happy with how that sprint went. I think I came in 4th overall, so yeah, that was a race 1 done. I just went with the flow. Probably wasn't expecting to sprint as hard as I did. Maybe I will regret that decision later on in the race, which you might see as we come up to the 2 races in the middle, which are going to be a little bit more lumpy, let's put it like that. So yeah, moving on to the second race, then we've got the rooftop rendezvous. What's that around about? It was 1 lap. I think it's roughly 6-7 kilometers in length. And yeah, this one is a climbing course. Well, not a proper climbing course. It's a punchy one, but the punches keep coming. So I'm quite conscious about that going into this one. And considering this is my second race now back in this category that I've not been in for a while, as I've been working my way back up, in the back of my mind I am worried about how this is going to look, really. So I'm just trying to save as much as I can and see what the climbs bring. So yeah, I've got this small little punch that we've just been over. Again, I'm just trying to just keep onto the wheels the best I can. Noticing though that my heart rate is still around the 180 mark, which isn't ideal. So I want to try and get back onto the leading group as quick as possible, just so that I can lower that heart rate down the best I can, at least to the climb. But I'm very conscious now at this stage that the climb is very much upon us soon. So yeah, we immediately get to the climb then, and I'm not positioned well at all. I should have probably been further up the front of the group so I could surf wheels, as the people inevitably be passing me. That's not the case. So I'm trying to put some pressure on the watts and put the watts up so that I can push my way to the front the best I can. But as you can see, the pace is quite strong at the front as well, so it's not really happening. I'm trying to use any blue section on the elevation profile as kind of like my opportunity to rest, but they're short in between. Like I say, these are quite big well, not big punches, but these are punches, and yeah, I'm just not really in the right space for this this climb. So I'm steadily flowing backwards, trying my best to hold on, but I'm not able to match what's going on at the front. So I can see me just steadily flowing back. I used the longer sections of the blue with a potential hope that I can try and get back on. So I've upped the watts to try and get back on. But as you can see, probably by the time we get round to this bend, they're all doing the same, and I'm nowhere closer to them. If anything, just on that flat section, they still pulled away. So yeah, at this point, I'm kind of like, what do I do if there's nothing else in the tank? Try and look at other riders, seeing what they're doing, but yeah, it's not looking good at this point. And yeah, you can probably tell at this point then I am officially dropped. The pack is far away, so I immediately looked behind me, seeing who's behind, but I'm still also trying to recover. I'm almost at 190 beats per minute, so I'm thinking I need to try and recover first before doing anything, putting any more effort in or putting a dig in or anything, or just riding hard at this point. So yeah, I'm just trying to lower it down, accept that some of these are going to pass me, and then just see what kind of gaps are behind, and aim on them as a potential stick for me to not get past. So yeah, I find myself a group of riders here. I think right, this is the group. We're almost at the top of the climb now as well. So, and I know we've got the descent straight on the other side. So, yeah, I've gone right. This is the group to stick with, and then that's just hold these wheels until we get to the finish. Little bit of a bad example of positioning here. So you saw just on that bend, I was on the inside, which was good. However, not really realizing that there was a big bend on the outside as well, gone the other way, that I immediately lost a lot of wheels on there. So you know, Zwift plays are, or the Zwift controllers, sorry, are good, but you need to be smart about how you use them as well, because I had to put an effort in just to get back onto them wheels at the moment there, because I was out of position entirely. So yeah, you got a few flames going, so I know some of the riders are sprinting, so that's probably my cue to start going as well, and just see what I can do with the group in front. But the rider right in front of me, Alex, he went off, and he went off like a dart. So yeah, but happy enough. I wasn't expecting miracles on this climb, and yeah, I just survived the best I can. So at this point then, I'm thinking I know what's coming next, and I'm not looking forward to that one either. So yeah, the next race then, we're at the Richmond 2015 World Reverse. Cool, it's only 4 kilometers in length, but it's got some hell of a punch on it. The start is downhill, so I'm like, okay, got a bit more time to recover, and potentially use that momentum from the downhill to then throw me up, and you'll see me, spoiler alert, doing exactly that. But I know there's 2 parts to this climb to Ibby Hill, and yeah, I'm not best stoked about this one as well, just like with the last race. So it's all a case of just surviving, and just seeing how I fare. So yeah, use the downhill as a mixture of recovering still and then just trying to slingshot myself to the front, using my weight to try and get the speed up at least, so that then I can get to the front of the group. And then yeah, bang, the graphic comes in, tells me what's coming up. I knew what was coming up anyway, but that graphic sometimes really does dishearten you when you know that's what's coming. So I'm trying to mentally prepare myself the best. At least I feel like I'm in a fairly decent position, as in I'm not too far back. And yeah, so away we go. We start with the climb because it's say relatively flat. I'm just sticking with it for now. I feel that I do, as soon as we start hitting the kind of the oranges, I get out of the saddle, and then just start hitting the pedals hard, and yeah, see what comes of this, really. So I get over the worst of it, but you can saw there my head looked down. I thought, right, we are flat. Let's try and get onto this rider in the yellow. If we can get onto the rider in yellow, then maybe I can get onto the next rider. But I was really spent at this time. I'm at 192 beats per minute. So yeah, I feel like my chest is close to exploding. And yeah, I don't do the typical mistake of when I'm getting over the top not to carry on riding until at least we go on a downhill bit. But we've got anvils, so I drop that immediately in the hope that, again, with the added weight, I can at least get thrown down a bit. But I know what's coming up, thanks to the graphic again. The graphic is now giving me a nice show of what's coming next. And again, that mental block at the moment of, I've got to now do this. So back to it, straight away, I thought, right, I am coming up to these at speed. So that's something. Know this bend here is high, is a high gradient. So again, out of the saddle, hitting the pedals for as long as I can, trying to use my weight on the pedals to get myself up this cheeky part of the climb. But again, I get so far, and then I'm spent again, almost at the 190s again with my heart rate. And then you can see everyone coming past me again. So yeah, they fly past me pretty good. I know what's coming with the descent next, but I'm in self-preservation mode again. I'm trying to just recover, and try and get this heart rate down the best I can, whilst watching everyone going past me quite quickly. So yeah, at this point I'm relatively on my own with the descent, but obviously I noticed that one rider behind me, and I was like, well, let's at least not try and have this rider overtake me. And though they are coming at me quickly, I do manage to get past get through the finish line without that last rider at least coming past me. And I was 33rd last time on the race before, 25th on the race before that. Yeah, just popped off the bike for a few moments. Just needed help out somewhere in the house. I guess that's one of the beauties of Zwift, isn't it? You can do some stuff whilst you're waiting for your race to start. But yeah, and then we're on to the London Loop. So yeah, London Loop, 6 kilometres, fairly flat apart from the punch to Trafalgar, and then finishing on the in the tunnel in the underground. So I'm just telling myself I've got to just see how I fare once we get to the Trafalgar ascent, and go from there really. So all this is the usual kind of start at this point now. Heart rate's relatively low at this point, so I'm at least happy enough that I've kind of recovered from them 2 efforts. It is flat, so in the back of my mind I'm thinking I might be able to do some good, but yeah, we'll just see how it plays out. Well, we're getting up to the Trafalgar climb. As you can see, I've again trying to position myself as close to the front I can. And in my head, I'm just like, do you know what? Let's just try and attack this the best I can with whatever I've got left. And let's give this a good final effort, which I feel like I did pretty well. I was in front for the majority of this climb until really the last section. And I had a moment where I thought, oh, I'll just have a look behind me, see if there's any massive gaps. And there wasn't really when I got the camera to the rear view. I was like, oh, they were still all here. But hey ho, it is what it is. I'm happy enough that with what was left in the tank, I was still able to do that. And then I'm conscious this bed not to let off too easy because it is still a little cheeky climb there before the descent. And I thought, right, I can't have done all that effort and then just dropped completely off the back. So at this point now, I'm thinking, right, get back into recovery. 2Ks to go, and let's just see what's left, and kind of survive from there. So less of a K to go then. I'm still with a pack, but then I was like, hold on a second, there's this bridge. Now it doesn't see much, but this little up on the bridge does can cause little breaks, and you can see straight away that there's some flame socks going and some people are really trying hard. At first I thought not much of it in the sense of I should be able to surf some wheels, but then yeah, everyone else is doing exactly the same, trying to make sure they keep the pace going, so they don't get dropped. Whereas I'm not working near enough as hard as maybe I should have to try and keep that. And as you can see, a lot of flame socks still going. I push over to the right, trying to get the shortest route, and yeah, I get to this part, which and I'm like, Christ, that was intense, and I'm pretty much done. So again, what my hope was to try and have a decent sprint, didn't turn out to be. I should have probably realised that people would have sprinted at 400 meters purely because of that crazy downhill leading into the tunnel, and I didn't. So there we go. It is what it is. But overall, not a bad race. This is my second attempt at this category now, and I was happy enough with the first race that I at least got a 4th place. I've just got to then just work on the climbing again, and get my technique right for the climbs like I used to before. But yeah, it's a good bit of fizz, and it always gets the weekend going quite well when I do the tiny races. So yeah, can't complain. So yeah, that's all anyway, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Probably going to try and see. I'm still trying to get a Zwift team together actually or a Zwift Racing League team together for Tuesday. I might be able to record it. It's a TTT for the first one, so nothing to write home about, regards of actual good footage. But it might, if we've got the technique right and everything and stuff, it might be a good one to show of how TTTs work for those that are new to it. But drop a like, comment, and all that good stuff. Yeah. I might see you again next time. Bye-bye.